So we are back here with another video here in NBA 2K26 Myteam, and we are going to be talking about this whole gameplay thing, man. So before we do get into it, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and leave a like on the video. That's always very, very much appreciated. But the issue is that, of course, there was a patch that was just released. And I'm going to kind of lay down the premise, first of all, for what has happened thus far this year. So at the start of the year, from a Myteam perspective, the gameplay was the best that it has been since 2K23, maybe even 2K22. At the very start of the year, the gameplay specifically was unbelievably great. It was the best we've seen in forever. It was absolutely amazing. And then a few weeks later, there was a patch implemented. Now, this patch was implemented because the park community was complaining that it was impossible to contest jump shots. That's why this patch was eliminated. So then the contest system, they messed with the contest system, and the gameplay objectively got worse from a Myteam perspective, but objectively got better from a park perspective. And then the complaint after that, before they released the second patch that they just released, was steals are non-existent, which they were. They absolutely were. Steals were so hard to get, on-ball steals specifically. And also that fades were way too cheesy, specifically fades from deep three-point range, which both of those things were very much things that needed to be fixed, and they did fix them. So with this latest patch, fades have been fixed. You can't just hit fades from nearly half court anymore. You can still hit fades from mid-range, but you can't hit fades from the three-point line, which is how it should be. Because realistically, no one in the NBA, whatever, is going to be taking fades from the three-point line on a consistent basis. It was just absolutely, it was unfair. It was. And it's a good thing that it got patched. And they did patch steals, but in patching steals, they made steals now too easy to get. So they did fix the problem, but they overcooked it. And there was another issue with this newest patch that was just released where rhythm shooting kind of was reverted back to how it was at one stage in the year, where if you rhythm shoot with certain cards, their arms kind of glitch out when they're shooting, and rhythm shooting just, they kind of broke it. But a lot of people are saying that they purposely put the hitch back in. They did mess with rhythm shooting, but I don't think that they purposely put the hitch back into the game. I think that they tried to change it a little bit, and then something in the code from earlier in the year, there's just something going on in the code where if settings are a specific way for rhythm shooting, that weird hitch glitchiness happens. So they didn't purposely put that back in. I don't know why people are acting like that. But anyway, now what they are going to do is fix both of those things. They've already said, I don't know about the steals actually, but I know for sure that they're going to fix the rhythm shooting thing, which I think that's like either tonight or tomorrow they're going to do that. So I don't know why everyone always expects, like after these patches, the things that people complained about have been fixed. And then we still have a situation where people are freaking out. And I don't know why people always expect every patch to go perfectly, because that is just not a realistic expectation. Some things are not going to be perfect. And you've got to kind of give them a chance to fix it. Now, this, I understand the perspective of they need to kind of test out these patches a little bit more before they do release them. I think that is a 2K problem. I think that before they implement a patch, there needs to be more testing done, and that would avoid a lot of these problems. But they are going to fix that. So overall, hopefully, after everything is kind of fixed after the second patch, the game will be the best overall for everybody that it has been. I don't think it's going to be as good as it was at the beginning of the year, especially from a Myteam perspective. I don't think it's ever going to get back to that point, which is unfortunate. And that kind of leads into the whole point that I kind of want to make on this video. So there are kind of four different settings in 2K as a whole where people want different things from the gameplay. And that is a park or rec setting. That is one subset. Another subset is a Myteam perspective in an online setting. and then there is a Myteam perspective from in an offline setting, and then there's also the play now or super casual perspective. And then you could argue there's even a fifth subset with a play now online or play now competitive perspective. In all five of those settings, people want the gameplay to be different. People want different things in gameplay with all five of those settings. If they do want to please everybody, which this is never going to happen, there's never going to be an instance where everybody is going to be pleased with how the gameplay is. But to please the greatest amount of people possible, we need to have different patches and a different gameplay experience for all five of those settings. Do I think that that is ever going to happen? No. But that is what needs to happen to please the most amount of people possible, because this has been an issue since the beginning of time, specifically from a Myteam online perspective versus a Play Now online perspective, because those are the people that care about the gameplay the most. And this has been an issue for years now, where patches that are implemented because people complain in Park kind of make Myteam a worse experience, or vice versa. And they kind of prioritize the Park community more because there are more people playing Park than more people playing Myteam. But they really need to realize that in all five of those separate settings, the gameplay needs to be different to make the experience the best possible experience that it can be. So if they did prioritize those five settings separately, made different little tweaks in each of those settings, that would please the biggest amount of people. Do I think it's going to happen? No. Do I think it's from a perspective of laziness? Maybe in a way it kind of is. Yeah, I do. Because they could do it if they wanted to. But anyway, man, let me know what you guys think. I think because it's never going to be a situation where they're going to please everybody, though. Because now they fixed shooting. Even after the first shooting patch, there was people still complaining about either that shooting was too hard, ghost contests, etc., or that shooting was too easy. And there's always going to be that. There's always going to be people on both sides of the argument, which is unfortunate. But we need to have it be where there are more people, obviously, that are pleased with the gameplay than are disappointed with the gameplay. Where I think it's almost kind of like in half right now, which that's not where we want to be at. So, and let me address the contests as well. I understand that on day one, it was too easy to green shots in people's face. Like I do. I think they overcooked it though. I think they made contests a little bit too overpowered after that. But there is a lot of people complaining that with how the gameplay is now, that they can't contest a jump shot, that everyone is still greening in their face. If you're complaining about from a defensive perspective with the game in its current state that you can't get contests on players, I'm sorry, that is a skill issue. It is. Because if you're up in somebody's grill, they're not going to green it. Especially now that fades are nerfed. You could say that fades, you could get green contested fades. Yes. But if you're shooting a set shot or a catch and shoot shot from 3, or even a shot off the dribble that's not a fade, if you are there and in the person's mouth, they're not going to green it. So it is a skill issue right now with people complaining about that. So I had to mention that. But anyway, I really, really hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll be back with more Myteam content soon, man. I'm going to talk about King of the Court a little bit. I'm going to go through some more comments. I know you guys like that. So, but anyway, subscribe to the channel before you head on out of here, man. Make sure to leave a like on the video. That is always very, very much appreciated. But with all that being said, I will see you guys in the next video.